Worksop Priory is a Church of England parish church and former priory in the town of Worksop, Nottinghamshire, part of the Diocese of Southwell and Nottingham and under the episcopal care of the Bishop of Beverley. The church is Grade I listed by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport as a building of outstanding architectural and historic interest. History. The initial land grant and monies to establish the Augustinian priory were made by William de Lovetot in 1103. In the 14th century the Tickhill Psalter was produced by the prior, John de Tickhill. The priory was dissolved on the orders of Henry VIII on November 15, 1539. The property was granted to Francis Talbot, 5th Earl of Shrewsbury, on condition that the Earl should provide a glove for the right hand of the sovereign at the coronation. This tradition continues to this day. Over time most of the former monastic buildings were plundered for the stone, but the nave of the church was saved for use as a parish church, and the early 14th century gatehouse was used as a school. Extensive restoration and enlargements of the church began in the mid-19th century and continued through the 20th century. Repairs and restorations. 1760, a western gallery was erected across the nave. 1784, a gallery was erected along the north side. 1845–49, a restoration by R. Nicholson of Lincoln. The church was re-roofed. New foundations were provided to the south tower and the pillars and south aisle were pulled back to vertical. 1879, new organ by Brindley and Foster of Sheffield. 1883, repairs to the south tower. 2 bells added increasing the ring from 6 to 8. 1912, gatehouse restored. 1922, Lady Chapel restored by Thomas Pepper and rededicated. 1929, opening up of the south transept. 1932, building of the north transept and turret to the central tower. 1935, blocking walls at the end of the nave were removed, creating a single space between the nave and transepts. 1974, choir built by Lawrence King. New organ by Peter Collins. Priors of Worksop, Vicars of Worksop. Organ. The painted organ case was designed by Peter Collins, in cooperation with the architects Lawrence King and Partners, and constructed in mahogany in its main parts with pine cord blockwood panels. The case has a tonal as well as an architectural function, mixing the sound of the pipes and projecting it forwards as a blended whole. The specification was drawn up by David Butterworth and is almost identical to that of St. Mary's Church, Nottingham. The pipes, of which there are 1634, are of various materials ranging in tin content from 90% in the facade pipes to 20% for some flute stops. Copper and pine are used for other registers. With the exception of 24 small pipes in the pedal case, all the front pipes are speaking. Reed pipes are by Gieske of Germany, the flues by Stinkins of Holland and Peter Collins. The cymbal stern is from Laukauf, also of Germany. The console at the foot of the central display pipes is constructed of oak. The naturals are of hard blackwood, and the accidentals are white resin, topped. The manual compass is of 56 notes, the pedal compass of 30 notes. The style of voicing and the general approach to its construction has origins in the 17th and 18th centuries, rather than the more familiar instrument to be found in England. The balance of stops is in keeping with classical registration, and the work principle of the case is designed to project the sound into the priory building. For the mechanism of the key and pedal action, direct connection by trackers of thinned wood are used to the control valves, giving the performer control over the attack and decay of each note. The stop action is electric. There are 6 pistons to each department and 6 toe levers for the pedal department. There are also 8 general pistons. The organ was reconstructed in 1996 by Wood of Huddersfield. It was cleaned and regulated, and the soundboards were reconstructed. The keys were renewed. Swell octave 2 feet replaced with new pipework by Stinkins. Cymbal stern added. Entire stop action was remade, with Alan Taylor solid state sequencer added. Organists John Hilton Turvey c. 1840. George Walker, 1854 to 1861, F. Statin, 1865 to 1879. Hamilton White c. 1880, REVD, J.T. Bingley c. 1887 to 1891. Thomas Pigford 1891 to 1892, H. J. Greenfield, 1920. John Newton 1920, Stanley H. Mays, 1923. Cecil Victor Berry, Ellis White, David Burnham, Leslie Carrick Smith, Michael Overbury, Mark Rothman 2016 Present. Services: Sundays Solemn Mass with Sunday School at 9:30 a.m. Holy Baptism at 11:30 a.m. Vespers and Benediction at 6 p.m. Weekdays morning and evening prayer are normally said at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mass times Monday, Wednesday and Saturday at 9:30 a.m., Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m., Friday at 12 p.m., usually followed by a charity soup lunch. Pictures: Priory Church, Priory Gatehouse, Old Church Interior.